Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way my audio wasn't working, bro. This is the type of shit that be pissing me off. This is the type of shit that makes me want to punch my fucking monitor, bro. This is the type of shit that gets me over the edge. Where my fucking mic wasn't working. I'm so glad I looked over to make sure shit is working. That's the type of shit that gets me going, chat. That's the type of shit that gets me going. I cannot believe this right now. I was just yapping about how my fucking mattress is fucked up. How I don't have a bed frame till I'm 30. That beautiful conversation. It wasn't picked up on video. It wasn't picked up on stream. Nothing, bro. This, I'm glad that I didn't do fucking hour in, and I'm realizing that. Because right now, bro, we're having quality control issues in this fucking chat right now. Look, we're having quality control issues. I don't even have the fucking lighting set up properly. Because I'm not going to lie. This week has been OC. OC. I'm about to OD. This week has been out of control. This week has been out of control. I'm back at Quinlan's on Wednesday nights. Chat. So, I'm committed to this lifestyle. This comedy lifestyle. I'm back in my favorite club that I love to do mics. My fucking shirt is still wrinkled, bro. I got clothes all over here. I got garbage shit downstairs. I have so much shit to do, but my fucking teacher decided to give back-to-back midterms. I had a midterm last week. I have a midterm tomorrow. I'm out of control with this shit. I need to lock in. I can't prioritize. I've been chasing these hoes. I can't even lie to y'all, bro. Sometimes I need that distraction. Sometimes I need to chase these hoes. Once in a while, you have to just realize it's your laziness. It's your lack of prioritization that's fucking you up from where you want to be. So I'm starting to prioritize a little bit better. I will be honest. I've been prioritizing the tea breaks. I've been prioritizing them because I don't want to be so faded I'm on fucking planet Saturn all the time. I'm trying to get a little bit better with the za use. Because I will say, bro, the za makes you want to sit down and just focus on you. And it does get the internal monologue running. The za is great, for sure. The za is immaculate, but only in the right circumstances. Because if you have too much za in your life, if you're smoking too much za in your life, it's problematic because it will make you feel like shit is okay, shit is in control, but realistically, it might not be in control. So I've been trying to lock in and not waste my time on the za. I've been kind of making sure I take a little bit of responsible break. But look, it's all good. We got the Diddy juice. I don't have ice yet. I feel like once I get ice, I know I'm settled in fully. Right now, there's no ice. There's no ice to be found. So we're just going to go straight into it. That is a lot. But, we're just going to put some juice on top of it. We're going to just go ahead and get that Sprite. I can't even fucking speak. We're going to get this Sprite cracked open and pour that bitch in. Hopefully, it'll give us a good old, cold drink. Because right now, I feel like not having ice does hinder the experience of a cold one. Right now, for the last couple of streams, we're going to go ahead and crack open a warm one, okay? Listen, right now I'm trying to settle in. I really am, bro. Like, it's only been like a week since I moved back. I've had so much shit I have to do at work, and I have so much shit for school that I've not really prioritized because I just got my table set up yesterday or like a day ago. And I finally got the camera set up. I have not got the lighting set up that I need to get going because that's fucking in the bag right there. I need to maybe do it this stream. I was going to put the fucking TV up because once I get the TV up, I can move this desk a little bit further back. I hope y'all having a good day and an even better day now that your boy's here. Because look, I sometimes use these, entries, these videos, these auditory hallucinations as a journal entry. I use this shit whenever I'm, down bad. I kind of look back at some of these videos and some of these streams like, yo, where the fuck was I a year ago? Because it's so crazy that I spent a year streaming 3 days a week. That's personal goal for me. I'm not even worried about that I'm not getting more than like 5-10 views. It's more for myself that I'm holding myself accountable. I'm holding myself accountable to something that I want to do every day. I'm getting better every day. Obviously, it doesn't seem like it because the lighting has kind of regressed. I'm not going to lie. Some of the quality control aspects of the stream has kind of gone down. The fucking audio was not working at the beginning of this stream. And the fucking lighting is still not set up. But look, chat, we will get there in about 2 days. This is not expedited delivery. This is just, we'll get there when we get there. We will make this work at some point. It's just something I'm working on. Look, we're going to lock in, but till then, we fuck it and we ball. Pause. I don't know. Today, I just wanted to get on stream and just yap, bro. I didn't get on Wednesday because I was so tired after work. I was so exhausted after work. I was like, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I can either do fucking a stream or I can go to a show. I can't do both. I need to nap. So I came home, I took a fucking nap, and then I hit the comedy show like there's no tomorrow. I was napped up. I had to, of course, go apologize to the bar for fucking walking out tables, losing them business. But I did ask and make sure that them peoples did come back, and they said yes. The people did come back the week after. And actually, they came back that night too. So I feel like sometimes people do get angry in the moment, especially when you're doing a comedy show or some kind of art form. People will get upset. It's the real question of, are they genuinely upset or they're wanting their behavior to be assessed by other people? Like, hey, I'm part of the good group, right? Everybody has deep down angry and feelings that are like, oh, why do I have those feelings? Like, people get angry, people crash out. But sometimes you do things so you can be performative. The performative male nowadays has been, labeled as not an ally anymore. Because I remember, bro, motherfuckers used to have a mustache, tote bags, and matcha, and bitches would be fawning over them. That's why I shaved my beard. I was like, bro, these hoes don't love you. I had to shave my beard and see, if they really, truly like me for me or my beard. I'm just kidding. My beard. Bro, I know some motherfuckers with beards this long. I wish I could grow it that crazy, man. I wish I could have a beard that fucking long. I don't have the discipline. I start fucking messing around with it. I've had pretty decently sized beard, but I never grew it out all the way because I genuinely always get too fucking undisciplined and I start like messing with it and I'm like looking, like if you look at my other stream, I'm like, oh, I'm like trying to eat my beard like a fucking goat. And I didn't want to do all that no more. I just wanted to make sure I have facial hair and not look like a fucking 13-year-old. I was on a date with somebody and they were like, you look about like 17 without a beard. I'm like, yo, you are a pedophile. Like, if you think I look 17 and you're continuing to be on this date, you are a pedophile. Like, but in general, like, I feel like without a beard, I feel vulnerable. I feel out of place. I feel like I'm not able to have the same aura, but I do like to, like, I gotta start mogging harder. I gotta start getting that aura up, chat. Like, hold on, I gotta fix the mic. It's too tall. There we go. I think right there might be a good place to have it. I don't know. I'm still figuring out the whole setup. I just kind of have it to where I can at least stream because I got on last stream with my monitors on the floor with just absolute mess in my room because I feel like I miss the authenticity of streaming. The day in a life type vibe, the vlog style vibe. I miss that in streaming. So that's why, like, Sometimes my room looks a little fucked up because, bro, I'm getting there. Right now, I have not organized shit. I have not put things where they need to go. I do still have a lot of paintings right here. I still have my mirror over there. I still have my drawers that need to go to my garage because I do want to start doing garage streams where I'm working on my car. I was working on my Nissan yesterday and the battery nearly exploded on me. Pause. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my Nissan. I've been building that bitch for about 3 years now. Like, I've spent so much time and money on my Nissan, and I've tried building it like 3 times. I've destroyed it, I rebuilt it, got another accident, rebuilt it again. I built that bitch so much, I took a year off from fucking working on that car. I literally just parked it for a year. While I was moved out, I was on my own spot. I didn't have the time to be able to just work on a car all the time. But right now that I'm back with family, I have a garage that I can work in. And I have another PC just sitting right there. I mean, quality might be shit. Quality might be shit in my garage just because I don't know how I'm going to hardwire it. I don't know how I'm going to get my camera popping because that is a fucking 2014 computer. Like, that shit is like older than fucking Moses himself. Like, that computer is so old. I have yet to touch it. It's an all-in-one. So I'm hoping I can get a stream running on there and I can start doing like car streams. Cause bro, I do love building cars. I do love working on cars. It's a very, very big hobby of mine. But sometimes, bro, when time doesn't, fit, it's hard to get stuff done. But if I'm doing it for a stream, I'm knocking 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not only just working on my car, I'm also streaming. I've been trying to prioritize streaming a lot more, which is, I don't know, good or bad, because I have prioritized it more than school. For 2 viewers, that's ridiculous. But, that true belief in myself is what I need. That true delusion of, fuck it, it will work. It will have to work. There's no way it cannot work. It may work when I'm like 70, but at least I keep going, bro, because some people give up on their dreams too easy. And I have before. I'm not even going to lie to you. I have quit making videos. I've quit streaming. I've quit everything before because it wasn't going. But it's not about necessarily the end goal. It's more about the journey there. Like, genuinely, I'm not trying to get too philosophical, chat. I'm really not. But it's genuinely the journey on the way there. It's like, did you have fun? That's the one thing I learned from stand-up. It's like, you can have sold out shows one day. Like, you genuinely can sell out a show one day and the next day you're back to doing an open mic. And that humbling, let's calm it down. Let's not get too OC. Let's not get too out of control. Let's not get too crazy. Because you feel like the top of the world when you got like 10, 15 people in the crowd and you murder. And the next day you got 2 people in the crowd. So like, kind of need that humbling. And I needed that when I started streaming again. In the last year, I've kind of focused a lot on the aspect of, who am I doing this for? For myself? Or for other people? Or for just the views? I don't know. Like, I didn't know then. I just realized, man, there's a fucking itch that I have for just creating, just having some kind of outlet of expressing myself, because therapy is not fun for me. I enjoy it, but I don't know if I personally want to do all that. Like, bro, I don't know. Some of these therapists, my fucking camera's shaking. I need to stabilize this desk. It does not seem very stable right now. I do feel like there is a lot of things in therapy I think benefit a lot of people, but for some people it's hard when your therapist is a lot younger, because nowadays, bro, motherfuckers are therapists are like 25. I'm like, bro, you have not even lived your life. I'm 26 and I know I barely lived a life. I barely lived a life I can just yap about. I get on stream and I can just yap it up, but the more I live life, the more I will have to be able to talk about it. So when I see therapists that are like younger than 50, it's hard for me to connect with them, because I don't think they have that level of expertise. I mean, at least there's somebody there to listen. That's why I say friends are so important, because when you have a good friend, when you have somebody that can, yap with you and go back and forth, it is a very good outlet. And that's why, like, I've been kind of getting a little bit more selective over the friends I have now. I've kind of cut out some energy drainers, some soul snatchers, per se. Because there are some friends that you got to be there for, and that's good. But if they can't be there for you and all you're doing is just be there for them, and they're just, I'm fucking shaking my whole desk, and all you're doing is genuinely just carrying their baggage all the time, it becomes exhausting. And I've exhausted every part of me when it comes to making friends, when it comes to just being around and being there for somebody. I've exhausted all energy because I just want to have somebody that I could talk to, but not have to babysit. I don't want a friend that I have to babysit. I mean, it's cool once in a while when you get too lit, you gotta have to babysit a friend. But if you're genuinely always having to fucking save them, that's not a friend. That's not a friend. At that point, you're just a fucking babysitter. And I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want somebody there mutually benefiting, Somebody I could just go back and forth. Hey, bro, like this happened, like whatever, whatever. Like, it's hard when you see people that are not living their life to their fullest potential. And the fullest potential could just genuinely be you're giving your all. You might be getting whooped by life. That might be possible. You might just get your ass beat by life. But at least you're trying enough to get better. You're trying enough to focus on getting better. You're trying enough that, hey, I see that you're putting in the effort. When I see somebody's not putting in the effort and all they're doing is asking for handouts, those are the friends that I've wanted to limit recently. Those are the type of friends I've been wanting to just kind of cut out. Maybe I was that friend at one point. Possibly I was that type of friend at one point, but I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm not wanting to get handouts. I'm not wanting to just completely leech off of somebody else's energy. You don't want energy vampires, right? Those are the motherfuckers that see you struggling and they're getting energy from it. When you realize some friends are genuinely just looking on your downfall just so you could be at their level. Like right now, you might be like a few inches. I mean, you might be broke as them. You might be everything as much as them, but you might have something that they don't. Like, they might want to let that envy get to them because that's the only peace they have is when you struggle because they feel important. I don't know where I'm going with this. We don't write this shit. We just yap. This is the Diary of an Open Mic comic. So hit the fucking follow button. Hit the fucking notifications if you're really about that life. Because it's free. It's free, dude. But I've just kind of gotten to a point in life where I have to focus on me. No matter if you call me narcissist. No matter if you call me like self-centered. You might call me like a dickhead. But nobody's going to care about me like I care about me. Your mom cares about you for sure. She might be the only person. Maybe your dad might be the only person that cares about you more than you care about yourself. But at a certain point in life, once you do grow old or your family members pass away that are, your guiding light or whatever, they're no longer there, you do become your sole provider. You do become your own dependent. And that's why I've been kind of focusing a little bit more on me than my friends, than other people that I don't necessarily call my friends, more like acquaintances. Because I just realized, bro, sometimes when you're providing more for others than they are providing for you, that's a disservice to yourself. Because you're always there for them when you need them. I mean, when they need you, you're always there for them, but they're not there for you when you need them. And when those type of things come into question, obviously I feel a little bit, selfish. I'm like, yo, am I just using somebody for what they provide for me? No, I mean, not really at all. I'm just looking to get an even exchange. That's all I want. I want to be able to have a friendship that is a two-way road, not a one-way road, not what I can provide for you, but what we can provide for each other. And that's a good friendship in my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know in the fucking chat if I'm tripping balls or what. But in the meantime, we're going to get to that Johnny Harris. What's really happening in the ocean? What's happening? Oh, fuck. That's the wrong. Wait. Oh, I have the wrong fucking. I'm going to have to update this. I thought this was screen. I don't know what's going on. My system is all fucked up right now. Alrighty, chat. Let's get right to it.
Most of our world is hidden in darkness. This is the deep sea, which is the vast majority of our planet. And even here on Google Earth, we're looking at digitally modeled shadings of the ocean floor, not pictures of the surface like we have on land. And forever I thought that's because there wasn't much to look at out here. Just an endless blue expanse. Hard to travel to, not much going on. But a few months ago, my colleague Christoph told me that there's something happening out here. Something worth looking at.
I have a story that I think we could do together that I think takes advantage of the things in reporting that you're good at and the things in reporting that I'm good at.
Christoph's thing is diving into mysteries using internet tools and open source intelligence. My thing is mapping. What happens next is a dedicated effort to peek behind the curtain of this pixelated, fuzzy blueness, to see what happens on the high seas when seemingly no one is looking. But lately, someone has been looking.
Contact to say we saw you. Okay, my wife. Phone number.
The players who are out there who are not transmitting, and those are often some of the bad actors, because they're gone dark for a reason.
I think there's a real power in just making this data visible, making it accessible so that anyone can see it. So there is no hiding this activity because it's all visible now.
And now we can put it all together on a map to shine a light on this dark space.
What's good, Puerto Rican Ashley? How you doing? How you doing? It's been a while, man.
Right now we're on the high seas, hiding from view. Christoph and I want to find out what they're up to.
There's a lot going on down there.
I'm chilling. I just recently moved, so as you know, we got a new background. It's still in the works. I probably should be getting these lightings appropriate. I need to get this lighting fucking fixed. Why am I on this side of the screen? What is going on? My fucking whole shit is fucked up. I need to fix this.
So how do we track ships?
I've been doing a bit of reading on this already, and the main system of keeping tracks of where ships are at any point in time is called the Automatic Identification System.
Wow. Very deep.
AIS. It's the most generic name possible.
Yeah.
At a basic level, allows any vessel to see the traffic that's happening around it and to be seen by that traffic. And when you look at like a map of what all of them look like, air traffic control for the entire ocean.
Oh, shit.
Wow, this is crazy.
It's a stunning amount of detail in real time that's publicly available.
I guess we're starting out with this reality that we have a pretty good set of eyes on the high seas because every one of these ships has its GPS turned on all the time by law.
Right.
So we have a pretty solid way of seeing what's going on out there.
It's pretty solid, but if you look at what an AIS transponder actually looks like, you can kind of see where the problem is. Because essentially these things are required to have on legally, but in practice, the ship's master can just press that button. They can turn it off and the ship effectively disappears from that map, they disappear from public view, and all of a sudden they're not tracked and they can get away with something fishy, for lack of a better word. Every time a ship does.
That's a pun. What am I doing tonight? I'm just fucking getting on here yapping, man. To be honest, that's all I be doing. I don't got nothing else. I just be getting on shit and yap, man. That's all I got planned for tonight. I just gotta do a quick little stream while I'm, here just watching this little fucking prison ocean or whatever they got going on.
It's called going dark.
Am I not going out? I'm gonna see. I might. I haven't
Everything that
really
they do in that time
made any
is called
specific
dark activity.
going out plans tonight.
So you'll hear a lot of these terms of like going dark, dark vessels, dark activity. There's also
It
this
is Friday.
whole
I do need to go
sector of,
chase
like,
some
if
hoes,
you are going
but-
through an area with really intense piracy, you might want to turn it off, and you're doing it at that point like for your own safety.
Yeah.
Because like real world pirates, if you have an AIS receiver, it's almost like a treasure map of like where ships are around you. You can literally see like where the cargo
You're still a
ships
freak.
around me
Oh yeah.
in real time
Hey,
right now.
you can't
that's allowed to,
unfreak
like,
nobody.
flip
You
this-
always, hey, once a freak, always a freak. Yeah.
Which press the button, turn it off if you are like fearing for your safety.
Yeah. The caveat is that if they do that, they do have to put together a report after the fact. And you have to put in your ship logbook. You have to kind of explain why it happened. So like here, for example, this is a ship that turned its AIS transponder off right here. Because it was warned about pirate activity close to Oman. We only know this because of this big safety report that it wound up having to put together. What's crazy is like because it's all public, we
Where are
can
all my
see
chargers,
this
bro?
happening. Like they're doing
Anytime I
this
need a charger, I can't find it, bro. It pisses me off.
to be kind of under the cover of darkness. But if we just look at historical AIS records, we can see those disappearances happening. December 2012, this is a Spanish fishing vessel that's approaching Western Africa. Boom, it disappears. July 2015, there's an Australian fishing ship doing the same thing around a marine reserve, disappears. October 2014, there is this Panamanian fishing vessel that approaches the Galapagos, and then boom, disappears.
And these are the people we're after. Like this is what we want to understand is what do they do when they press that button and go dark?
Right.
The fact that you can see their last location and then where they pick up again is a context clue.
It's a clue, for sure.
And there's so much data available. Like this is what I want to start to go down the rabbit hole on is like
Aren't those like $1,000 headphones, bro? Are they really worth $1,000 though? $1,000 fucking dollars?
doing all this data, looking for the trends and trying to understand what we can learn about what happens when these ships go dark. So we're talking a lot about shadowy activity happening in the dead of night. Kind of has to do with the sponsor of today's video who addresses an open button if a new and after looking through all this data, step one is to start filtering things down. And I started to filter down by fishing, just fishing vessels. Let's just start there. That's a lot of vessels, but it's not every vessel that is being tracked. In doing that, you can start to see, it's still a big thing, but you can start to see where these ships spend their time. These fishing vessels, probably where there's lots of fish. And I'm also putting on this map EEZs, which is a reminder that every country has ocean borders in which they are allowed to do economic things and no one else is allowed to. When you look at all of this AIS data aggregated across the whole world, you start to see some bright spots. Specifically here, this is one I started to focus on quite a bit. It is this water off of the coast of Ecuador surrounding this archipelago called the Galapagos Islands, like where Charles Darwin invented evolution.
Invented it.
Didn't
exist before, but he figured it out for us.
He invented it, made it up right there. Now, this is within Ecuador's exclusive economic zone. They have exclusive rights to this water. And it is also a protected marine area, but it's also teeming with valuable seafood. Sharks, jumbo flying squid, skipjack tuna. This is protected area. And so you can see that a lot of this fishing activity happens right outside of these EEZs in international water. And remember, I'm trying to figure out what people do when they go dark. When they press this button, turn off their transponders, like what are they up to? The next clue comes when you do this.
They're going to Jeffrey Epstein's island. That's what they're doing.
Flags. So this is all Chinese flagged ships. Right outside of the EEZ of the Galapagos Island, which belongs to Ecuador. And what we are looking at here is something monumental. The biggest, most centralized, most powerful fishing effort in human history.
Holy fuck, that's a lot of boats, man. That's a lot of boats. And they're bright as hell, too.
So, seeing this, I'm starting to get tired of just pure data and shading. I wanted to see, what does this look like in real life?
Yeah. Whoa.
Look, they talk about there's a lot of fish in the sea. I feel like we're fucking eating them shits every day. Like we're fucking killing all the ships. Or these motherfuckers might be looking for aliens. One or the other, chat. They might be looking for aliens.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, right?
So those are all ships that have their lights on in the middle of the night. It's crazy. It's almost like a city skyline of like a
China's
futuristic
too
water
big,
city.
bro. They got too much money. They got too many
Crazy.
people.
We are in the middle of the ocean. Hey, before we continue, I just want to let you all know that we are very close to launching New Press, which is something I've been working on for as current working our favorite press.context. By the 1980s, China had basically depleted the fish in the waters near its coast. Huge population, rapid industrialization. They were eating a lot of fish.
Yeah, there's like fucking 3 billion of them motherfuckers, bro.
And as they built up their economy, they just got aggressive. The local fish stock started to disappear. So the Chinese government stepped in. They said, okay, let's build a bigger fleet, one that can go way beyond our waters. And they did. They subsidized the building of these massive ships capable of sailing deep into international waters. Even halfway
why don't they just like have fish farms, you know? Like, I've seen them on TikTok. There's a lot of fish farms, but they need to like actually have like bigger fish farms, you know?
On the world. And today, that fleet is just enormous. A recent analysis estimates that
the thing is, I will say, bro, if you really think about it, I know America's fucking Navy fleet is crazy large, but if you think about it, bro, when war happens, they always flip all the regular shit into real life war shit. So if China really wanted, they can turn all these fleets into a powerhouse of just war. And, you know, America should nuke China before they, you know, decided to do it. We should turn it into a parking lot, you know? We should just do it. Fuck it.
It has about 57,000 industrial fishing vessels, and that they account for roughly 44% of all fishing activity on Earth. 44%.
Stunning number.
Isn't that insane? That's half of all fishing is this fleet.
Right. So they just put a ton of money towards like building boats that are capable of going really far out at sea and building this whole infrastructure to bring all that back to China to be processed. But I'm imagining it is not all it winds up in China. It goes across the world.
Exactly. It's a part of a massive seafood industry. But yeah, it is the Chinese government subsidizing these companies, helping them not just with subsidies, but also with security. Sometimes the Chinese government will send security. Intelligence ships will go with them.
Whoa.
It is a part of the state effort to project power, and it also has resulted in the ability to fish aggressively anywhere on Earth.
Intelligent ships in the sense of like keeping the fishing vessels safe or making sure they don't get in trouble when they push the rules?
Fill in the blanks with whatever you suspect. We don't exactly know what they're up to, but just know this is a geopolitical act.
I mean, it feels like Belt and Road, but like on the sea.
Yep, that's exactly. It's a big economic push that results in a...
I lost my bulbs. I'm thinking about where all my bulbs went. I don't think I brought them. I thought I had them in my car, but I hope I brought them. There was a lot of bulbs that I need.
A lot of fishing all around the world.
There's so many red dots that they have turned white.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, is this illegal, what they're doing? To be sending these ships all the way across the world, right next to other countries, is any of that illegal?
No, actually not. It's concerning because they are aggressively fishing, but per this AIS data, which shows that they don't cross the line, they are not doing anything illegal from this view.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, all of these are just AIS pings, which means this doesn't account for the fact that they could turn AIS off at any point in time. So this is just the publicly tracked available data. The fact that they can go dark is not pictured in this at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is not the full picture. Like, the AIS data is really helpful for me to see Chinese fishing efforts around the world and to focus in on a hotspot where they're clearly doing a lot. But I now want to see what's happening actually on the ground here. And for that, I need someone who's actually been out here.
Yeah.
My name is Ian Urbina. I'm a journalist. I spent 17 years at the New York Times and then created the Owl Ocean Project. Every year, 200 to 300 squid vessels traverse the globe and sort of hover in very specific squid fisheries. So the goal was to get out into that patch, into that fishery, and if possible, get on board the Chinese vessels, where they are, who they use as workers, how long they're staying at sea, what sort of crimes are they involved in, what are the conditions on the boats.
So I think I have an understanding as to why it's so hard to regulate the deep sea, like way out in the high waters. It's so far away from everything.
To get out onto the high seas, you typically have to be in a pretty large vessel because the waters are pretty rough and these are long trips.
Like getting out there, enforcing anything is just logistically difficult. And part of it is like, it's logistically difficult for like fishing vessels to get out there. For anyone to be out there for a long time, like this hasn't been a huge problem because no one's been able to actually be out there in a huge way.
So sick.
But that's changing.
I hate how they
fishing companies get more sophisticated, get more money, get more consolidated. They can afford to send out like big operations that can be out there for a really long time. And the leader of all of this is China.
They know there's aliens in the water. That's what it is, bro.
The scope and scale of Chinese fishing is unbelievable. It's not just the number of vessels, it's the way that they do it. They bring out all of these vessels and then they have these motherships, the huge reefers that are big refrigerated vessels. And the way that it works is the smaller fishing boats are able to go out, fish, and then come back to the mothership, drop off all their stuff, get refueled, get resupplied, and then just go out.
So they don't have to dock at any point. They don't have to go back to
They
shore.
never have to go back to China.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This might be seeming like they're getting ready to train for war. This is the same shit they would do to run the waters. Like if they wanted to, attack. That's a good way to train.
Be out there kind of indefinitely because that reefer eventually will fish, and then it will go back to China while the fishing vessels will stay out there and then a new mothership will arrive. Before we look into like satellite stuff, I'm curious what you've been finding, but like the first thing you see is how invisible it is. And the only reason why we know the scale and scope of this is because they do have their transponders on, like most of them do. And you can see just from the publicly available data, just these fleets of fishermen nonstop working in these clusters. And they're often clusters that are hugging right up against the economic waters of other countries.
Right.
Ecuador, a lot of places in South America, Argentina, you'll see these clusters of fishing vessels. Most of those are Chinese. That's about it. That's all you can see. And from that perspective, it's like pretty legal. Like they're just sort of sitting there. Yes, they're fishing. Yes, it's kind of crazy. Yes, we need new regulation to like determine if this is okay. But on paper, it actually looks pretty fine.
But it's like, why else would you go right up to the border of something
Yeah.
if it's not to like occasionally pass over?
Exactly.
Like, there's no reason to be clustered like that.
Right there, right on the border.
They're testing.
Fishing is the world's most dangerous profession in terms of fatalities globally.
Ian Urbina has spent years investigating what actually happens out here on these ships. And what he's found is pretty bleak.
The guys said we're being held against our will. They took our passports. We desperately want to come home. There's violence on board. I've seen and interviewed workers who are on 2-year contracts and they never come to shore.
He's documented crewmen who have been at sea for years, literally years, against their will sometimes, cut off from their families, trapped by debt and fake job promises, their passports taken away from them, stuck indefinitely. Because now that these boats can drop off their fish and get fuel and supplies from these motherships, they never have to go back to port.
That's crazy. They got like slaves Wait, China literally has had slaves.
It's not
for the
just
longest
falling
time.
overboard from exhaustion or getting hit by a heavy piece of equipment. It's also just infection, it's suicide, it's lots of other forms of slow motion threat to a brutal type of work. The mental health kind of burden of being in solitary confinement essentially for 2 years of this sort, you can see in these guys.
They think that shit's fake.
These men develop horrible illnesses. They get injured, they're malnourished, they're abused, and all of it, the sickness, the exhaustion, the despair, happens in total isolation, way out here, far from anyone who might see it.
Squid vessels in particular are also just gruesome because squid inks when it panics and they're bringing thousands per hour on board and they ink everywhere. So it's like climbing, sorry to gross you out, but into someone's nose. There's just mucus, layers, years of layers of mucus on every imaginable surface. The railings, the floor, you can't get that stuff off. So it's insanely slippery. There's vermin everywhere. It smells, it's very ammonia smell because squid use ammonia for buoyancy. So it smells like piss.
That's crazy, bro.
That's the kind of thing that you can't see. It's very well hidden. And again, on paper, when I look at these maps of their transponders,
Like,
they
every
are
day I realize
behaving
how
per
blessed
what
I
we
am
can
to
see on
be
the
in
satellite.
America, you know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
what I'm curious about is like when they turn off that transponder
Sure.
and they can't be pinged and they can't really be seen, what happens? We track some of this data and you see these boats that go right up to the EEZ. They just
Or Mr. Harris over here is a CIA agent and he's trying to manipulate us to hate China.
appear for 72 hours or
Always
7
think about
days,
it.
and then they pop back up in safe zone, and then they disappear, and then they pop back on.
God damn
What
it, I
is
can't
going
fucking-
on there? And how can we know what is happening during those dark hours and days when the transponder is turned off? Because that's the crucial time. They're so far away, no one's going to see them. So anything they do during that time is completely unseen.
How's it going, Ken? How are you? I talked to a couple people at Global Fishing Watch, and they helped me kind of understand how we are able to have eyes on what is happening even when AIS goes dark. It turns out AIS is not our only source. There is another way.
Based on AIS data, you'll see a lot of fishing activity along the northern coast of the Mediterranean and in the Strait of Sicily, also in the Adriatic. You'll see
Bro,
almost no
I
fishing
feel
activity
like
along
they're about to be, if we take this all by, you know, word, like the way they're saying it, bro, we might run into fucking Nazi Germany again. But except this time, they're a well-oiled machine. Because, bro, they look like they're going out there for resources they don't have. And Nazi Germany did the same thing. They were fucking ready to go out there and get other people's resources.
the coast of North Africa. That doesn't mean that there is no fishing happening along the coast of North Africa. It's just that we can't see it based on AIS. That's because a lot of these fleets are comprised of small vessels that don't have access to AIS devices. So relying on just one data stream tells us only part of the picture in this case. This is where we start to use these other data streams. Nightlight detections, which are based on vessels using bright lights at night. Radar detections, which detect large metal objects. Optical imagery, which is basically high resolution photos of vessels at sea. This allows us then to detect objects that aren't being detected on AIS. You'll suddenly see that then all of this area that had previously been completely dark, but now with radar imagery we can now kind of fill in those gaps and we can see a lot of vessel activity along North Africa. Using these satellite detections we can detect where these vessels are even if they disable their AIS devices.
Can we go to Galapagos and see the nightlight? Because that's a huge one.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, right there.
But so we can look at something like this and see all of a sudden, okay, here's AIS unmatched optical detections. The Galapagos goes from being completely clean inside the edges to all of a sudden dots all over the place.
Wow. Dude, they go dark, but here they are.
And it's also interesting because each of
That
these different
cannot be, bro, all ships. That's like a human city on the ocean right there, bro.
kinds of satellite imagery overlays is limited in its own way.
Every layer Every data stream has its limitations. Optical imagery is exciting for us, but it is typically limited to taking images once or twice a day. So it really only gives us snapshots of every activity and doesn't allow us to recreate what these vessels are doing. And as you can see by these footprints, it doesn't scan the entire ocean, but usually looks at areas close to shore. The same is true for radar imagery that looks at areas close to shore. It doesn't tell us much about what's happening on the high seas. And then nightlight detection is particularly useful for vessels like squid jiggers, which fish using very bright lights.
Yeah, that's a crazy. What? Crazy. It seems like a racist name. Squid jiggers. What?
By themselves can really paint a full picture. They will all be missing part of the activity.
But it's something, right? Like it's eyes where we previously had no eyes before.
Okay, so we have all these other views that aren't just reliant on AIS and like Ian and his team's cameras. Can we actually see what is happening during dark activity? Like, what do we learn about the Galapagos and what these ships might be doing when they turn off their transponders?
Right. So in a situation like in the Galapagos where you have, ships on AIS going dark right around the edges, overlaying something like radio frequency, all of a sudden you can see pings of places where those ships might be. So all of a sudden you go from just knowing that a ship is disappearing and maybe doing something or not, but having no hard evidence. By overlaying these different kinds of satellite imagery, all of a sudden you have evidence that they were somewhere else. We have all these ships that are going dark right on the edge of the Galapagos EEZ, but we don't necessarily know that they're going inside. And when we look at radio frequency signals, we can see that they are going inside. And then because there are multiple different kinds of imagery sources, we can overlay SAR data and have even more detail. We can see ships inside.
So this is using that radar ping that just looks for something dense or shiny.
Agents,
and you can now see that where on my map it looks clean and legal.
Doing it
this
for the love
shows
of the
that
game.
there's actually activity happening inside the EEZ.
Right. It's obviously not an end-all be-all. I feel like you might see this map and think by being able to see past the AIS dark activity zones that all of a sudden we have like perfect eyes on what's happening. But we don't really. It's all of these are kind of individual snapshots. They're just a moment in time, but they do give us a way of, when something looks suspicious, to be able to have like a higher level of detail as to what's going on.
Yeah.
It's basically a way of catching ships in the act when they think that they're getting away with something by turning off one kind of tracker. Either they leave another kind of tracker on, or they wind up being visible by another kind of satellite imagery that's passing overhead.
But it still seems like piecing together the puzzle with this kind of data versus that kind of data, like it seems quite manual.
It's very manual labor, the kind of thing that is only kind of helpful at a very large scale. So I mean, this used to only be helpful kind of one example at a time. This was like not something that really gave us broad insights, but that's changing fast with the people that I talk to. I mean, it's so much data and it is so many images and it's a constant process of cross-checking those things. It's more than any human can do, but we are obviously moving into an era where machines can do that.
Rather than labeling all these data manually by hand, by visually inspecting these tracks, that's where we use machine learning to do this at a global, near real-time scale.
I guess my question now is like, what do we know now about what's happening at sea that we didn't know before?
I mean, what this leaves us with is a much better picture of just how widespread dark activity is, of just how many ships are going untracked. Before this, we had no sense of exactly how many ships. We knew it was happening. We didn't know exactly like what they were doing when they went dark, but we didn't know how globally widespread the problem is. And now we do. When we put all of these data sources together, Global Fishing Watch found that between 72 and 76% of all fishing activity around the world is untracked.
And potentially illegally, meaning in places that are supposed to be protected.
I mean, the crazy part about that is you kind of start off thinking that this is maybe some small problematic minority that is committing crimes, but the fact that it's
genocide,
75%, that it is the great majority of all fishing means that, going dark is the norm. It is just a practice that many, many ships are doing. Maybe it is to commit crimes or to get away with things unseen. But maybe it's, just for a bit of a competitive advantage to be fishing somewhere where they know they have the best access to fish. And maybe it's just out of, non-compliance, unawareness about the laws. There's a whole bunch of reasons that ships could be going dark or not turning on their AIS. but they all kind of enable the worst of this problems. They set the stage for the worst offenses to be committed.
Looking into China's fleet, which is just one of many countries that have this problem, but it's the biggest and the most aggressive. I think following the rest of that story of where that seafood goes, it's important to sort of like get
I don't even
our head
like
around why
seafood
this is
like
a
that,
problem.
bro.
Because what I learned from my reporting is that after it is in the Galapagos and it goes into the mothership, it kind of gets washed, meaning it gets blended with product and squid from a bunch of different other sources that did have their tracker on, and then it's invisible. Its story is completely washed. The mothership goes back to China. It delivers the squid to a buyer who then mixes it with even more squid from other sources. It gets processed, sometimes from even more forced labor, from either Uyghur Muslims that are re-educated and forced to work in these seafood plants, or North Koreans who are in China.
Yeah, we stopped
working
hearing
for the
about that
North
a
Korean state. And
while
then
ago. We stopped hearing about those Muslims that disappear. Bro, it's probably some crazy, sketchy shit going on. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Probably some crazy, crazy shit where they're disappearing families, bro. They're doing a genocide over there, bro.
It's shipped
Am I
out to the world. 70% of China's seafood is actually shipped out, and it's a huge industry for them. And it comes to all of us.
So we're eating it.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't really know that. It can go somewhere else in Asia. Maybe it's turned into sushi in Japan, or it goes to Europe where it is cooked into a risotto or canned. But a lot of it ends up in the United States.
Calamari.
Cheap
Fried
calamari. It's
calamari.
like in
Ooh,
every
I've never even
restaurant
had
you can get calamari. And now I kind of understand where that comes from. Like, this isn't a black market. This isn't a renegade thing happening in some organized crime ring. This is the norm on the high seas, and it is something we all participate in. And being in the maps, but especially being in the footage and the interviews, you realize how in that product is hidden the true cost, which is environmental degradation, human suffering, depletion of our fish stocks, and theft from national resources. It makes me appreciate the people working on this. It makes me grateful for the technology that enables better views of these hidden spaces, and it puts urgency on how important this issue is. Because if we can solve it, if we can get eyes on the ocean in a new way, it can have a huge impact on all of these domains.
Mm-hmm. There is a really weird disparity between seeing the activity mapped out here, where it looks very busy, but then you think about what it must actually look like in real life. The empty oceans. It's such a vast quantity
There's
of
so
space,
much,
even in the places where it
where you
looks
can just,
so
like, not see
condensed,
shit, you know?
Yeah,
so
it's-
busy. It must still be just impossible to police any of that.
It's incredibly logistically complicated and dangerous to be on the high seas. I started this story feeling like AIS was this like amazing tool for safety and surveillance at sea. And now I see just how easy it is to press one little button and to disappear and do whatever you want.
Bro,
I'm
you gotta
feeling
also
like this is a
understand,
really
these
hard problem
motherfuckers
to tackle
live over in another continent. Their rules don't apply, like, after, you know, a certain distance into the ocean. These motherfuckers genuinely, bro, they don't respect our rules here. They're not gonna follow American rules when they're in fucking China. They're gonna follow their own rules. So, let's be real.
because
I'm sure
of
my
the nature
audio
of being
probably
on the
comes
high
off
sea.
real weird. 'Cause
And it's
like,
not going to be through humans going out to
yeah,
catch
you know
the
what?
bad guys that we solve this. I'm convinced of that now.
Right.
Like if we're going to actually see this and stop this, it's going to have to be something else.
These big old boats, bro. I gotta get these big old boats. Not boats, bolts. That's what I meant to say, bolts. Alright, chat. W video. Let's see what else they got, okay? I gotta do this vlog style, okay? I got fucking shit on the floor. So, let's see what other videos they got going on. Cause I'm gonna try to put up the TV so, you know, the spot, you know? It looks fucking fancier. How Asmondgold
Every day
hold on
for
a
the past
second.
4 or 5 years, I've had to take painkillers every night to where I'm not in agonizing pain.
What's up, y'all?
It's me.
For many people, my existence is a soulless,
Asmondgold is a fascist,
degenerate
millionaire who has cockroaches crawling on him because he can't throw out his fast food garbage.
You know, I've got a story to tell you guys, and this story involves some bullshit.
I like kind of being the villain.
He is an amazing guy.
I am an animal.
I am, almost 30 now, and I play video games all day. I live with my mom.
What are you most excited about?
People that hate me for living the way that I do.
It's mainly the people that push themselves into a circular hole whenever they're a square peg.
Asmongold is in the final stage of becoming a roach.
I'm a triangle. I'm not like any of this other stuff. I'm myself.
Asmongold makes millions of dollars per year, yet he lives the same life in the same house where he once lived on food stamps while taking care of his mother.
I lived this exact same life whenever I was 21.
Like, if you go back and you watch videos of me from literally over 10 years ago, you're watching this is the same person.
Yeah, that was my desk, by the way. I got this one last night. Yeah, it's the same drink.
He's one of the most watched streamers and in many ways the most unique personality to get as successful as he is. But being an outlier has been part of his identity since childhood.
As a kid, I always felt like I was very different from a lot of other people. People thought that I was a little bit off, a little bit weird. I've always had a big problem with being able to relate to other people.
Yeah, I think that growing up, I was just very used to just detaching myself from things and accepting things for how they are.
I live in Austin, Texas. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I moved here when I was 6 months old.
We didn't live in the projects, right? But we were one of the poorer families in a working class neighborhood.
His mom and I were separated for a while, and then we got divorced.
My parents are divorced, and I lived with my mom.
I grew up very poor.
We basically barely skated by most of the time, and primarily the reason for that, honestly, is because my dad always paid child support, etc., at least until I was 18.
When you were growing up poor, tell me about what it was like to go to school.
Oh, it would suck, right? I mean, especially if everybody else had X or Y thing and I didn't have it. There would be many times whenever I wouldn't have something that it felt like everybody else would have, or I wouldn't be able to do something that everybody else could do, or I couldn't look forward to something that everybody else could look forward to. And it did feel bad to be like that one person that didn't have it.
This early challenge taught Zach a powerful truth that's going to become the core of his personality.
I cared a lot about wearing Nike. I cared a lot about wearing nice shoes.
I really tried to take myself seriously.
I remember my mom bought me a really expensive pair of shoes at Academy, and it was awesome, and I'd go and show them off, and people would think I was cool, etc.
I tried to have a good impression, do the right things, say the right things, wear the right things, be the right kind of person.
These types of things and the materialism of it was very appealing to me. It was very important to me. It was part of who I was as a person. I basically allowed that to kind of be part of what I identified myself as. That was the case all through elementary school and also all through middle school. The real formative moment for me personally was in high school. At the very beginning, I went to a more upscale, a richer high school.
A much more superficial, much more like a higher class high school, because my dad wanted me to go there.
The kids would drive the Hummers to school, and it was very obvious that these kids did not buy their cars from their McDonald's part-time job, okay?
I didn't really fit in there.
They were very brand conscious. They were very conscientious about what they would wear, how they would look, how they would appear. And whenever I looked at those people, I
grew up in a very, very bougie environment myself, bro. Coming from Pakistan, this was like a fucking dream. Living the fucking dream. But bro, some of these motherfuckers were getting fucking BMWs that were $100,000 as their first cars. I get you, Asmongold. You just like me, bro. We the same.
Thought it was so superficial and so worthless and so meaningless that it was just very off-putting and weird to me. I was also looking in a mirror, and I realized that those people were doing the same thing. I was just doing it to a lesser extent, and if I had as much money as they did, I'd be just like them.
And at that point, I realized that I didn't really want to be like other people, and I had to develop, I guess, my own identity. Then I ended up getting transferred over, and I went to the school where my friends were.
Fucking quit!
It was at an early age that he began developing hyper-competitiveness and love for games.
He was always into video games.
Was he computer nerds? Yeah, I was basically a computer nerd in a lot of ways, yeah.
And he could not stand up. We had a big ottoman. He would be leaning on that thing, playing Mario.
Well, I would go and I would repair the computer, so different classes.
Is it Mario or Mario?
I enjoyed it a lot, actually.
Cameron, what just happened in the game?
You know how mad he gets when he loses something or he fucks up on the games?
Eric, what just happened in the game? I lost. Wow.
I'd be sitting at the table and I'd be hearing boo, boo. And it's just getting all, you know. And then he throws the controller down.
So who'd you lose to? You. Yeah.
And he throws himself on the floor. No.
I wanted a video camera whenever I was 11 years old.
I've been making videos and doing videos, and I've always been interested with like film and everything like that. I've been making videos ever since I was 8 or 9 years old with my friend's video camera. On Christmas 2001, I was 11. My dad got me a video camera for Christmas, and ever since then I've been making my own videos.
I was uploading videos to MySpace.
I've always loved the idea of making videos and sharing my life and sharing things that I think are funny with other people.
Like if I was born in like today's day and age, I would have unironically been 6 or 7 years old uploading content to YouTube.
In 2006, Zach stepped into a world that would shape his life in ways he could never have imagined.
I started playing WoW in 2006 in July. I bought the game and I didn't ever even play it. I bought the game from this kid at school in my computer class. I take the game home and I put it on my bookshelf, and I just didn't really think about it for probably 3 or 4 months. My buddy had just come back from the summer because like his dad lives up the street, so he had just showed up, and we had been playing Halo and all that other stuff. And so we didn't really we were kind of bored of playing Halo. Like we would just get up and play Halo and then go back to bed. That's it. That's all we do. He saw that I had in my bookshelf, I had this this little box, and it was a World of Warcraft game. He's like, dude, you have World of Warcraft? I'm like, yeah, I have the game. And he's like, dude, this is the best fucking game. You know, so the first thing I do is I go to YouTube, I look up World of Warcraft, and I see a video of this mage soloing a dragon, and I'm like, this is the most badass fucking game in the world.
Like a young Asmondgold, I wasn't taken seriously by anyone. I was a 16.
Look, I'm gonna go get my machine. I want to do it hand strength only, but I'm about to beat my shit. I'm tired of this bullshit. I fucking put it in the wrong hole. Pause. Pause the doom.
16-year-old loser. I would go to school. The teachers would treat me like a fucking idiot because I was a fucking idiot. I mean, it's not like, oh wow, you know, they're so mean to me. No, they're not mean to me. It's because I was a fucking idiot. You have your friends that are planning out, you know, I want to be this, I want to be that. And they're talking about going to school and going to college. You have friends that have had girlfriends at that time, like 3 years. They're talking about actually, you know, being really serious. And, you know, things get more serious between the two of them. Life is progressing onward. And for me personally, I always felt like it wasn't really, like, it wasn't progressing for me.
You know, that kind of changed a little bit whenever I went in the Burning Crusade. The Burning Crusade was whenever we went to Steak and Shake, remember?
Sure, I remember.
Flash, fantasy, and fixation are the features that contribute to the addiction that millions cannot shake.
And everybody was there. We were getting there.
Yeah.
Waiting for the World of Warcraft expansion to come out.
I'm sorry for my girlfriend, because I'm just going to keep playing.
For an online game called World of Warcraft.
If I actually took the week off the launch of the game so I could sit there and play it all day and don't have to worry about working.
There's a new version that's about to erupt on the scene.
And I come from Mexico just to get Burning Crusade.
Got it. And we went home and loaded up.
Back in the day, if you were a gamer, you were a committed gamer, bro. You were not fucking around. You were ostracized. I was an early Counter-Strike adopter, so I get that grind, bro.
Game comes out, and it puts me on an even playing field for the first time in my life with anybody else.
You know, I became a successful player, and then a successful officer, and then a successful raid leader in my guild.
So, Zach, what have you been trying to push the guild to do?
Wow. It's not, you know, how smart they are, how old they are, what credentials they have, or anything like that. The only thing that matters is the effort that I can put into game versus the effort that they can put into the game.
I went from having people like call me, you know, a loser or whatever, to like complimenting me and like saying, you know, you've been working, you know, this is like, you know, your character's really great, you know, you're doing a lot of DPS, you're a great leader, and so all this other stuff. And
for a young Asmondgold, this acceptance meant the world.
I was just then, you know, like getting to become an upperclassman in high school, going from like a boy into a man. You know, and it was the first time that I was really stepping out into the world and interacting with people that were older than me, and actually becoming part of the world at large rather than just a small group of friends and then school. And I think that gave me a certain amount of self-esteem that you can't really get anywhere else.
love for making videos and his passion for World of Warcraft merged in the next hobby he took on.
I made my YouTube channel right after I graduated from high school. Joined August 29th, 2008.
Damn.
I made this YouTube channel because I was going to go to school in the spring. I was ready to go to business school, and I had been accepted.
I deleted my YouTube channel like 3 times, bro.
And what happened is my mom got sick. I felt that I kind of had to stay home, and so I kind of was taking care of her and helping her. What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy, Asmondgold. I made this YouTube channel just because, you know, as I said, I've always loved doing videos, and I've always loved, I've loved Warcraft, obviously. And so I decided at that point that, you know, I would take that time and I would really do what, you know, a lot of people had been asking me to do. You know, I just kind of wanted to make these videos and help people. And today we're going to be talking about something big. It's about how to get achievements.
All I did back then was make WoW guide videos. That was all I did. Today, I want to show you guys how to solo Mythic Blackhand to farm for the Ironhoof Destroyer. I would literally just Google something and I'd be like...
I'm sure I have a machine for this somewhere. I'm building a fucking rocket, it feels like, bro. Because the fucking drill bit only goes up to 12. Need a 13. That's the problem. And I don't have an adapter. I think I do downstairs in my garage. Fuck. Why is this so difficult?
This guide sucks, I can do it better. And then I'd go up there and I'd do it better.
Today we're going to learn how to farm.
I don't want to go digging. I don't know where it is.
At the same time this was happening,
do it manually.
like, a lot of my friends were obviously going through college, finishing college, you know, having girlfriends, like moving in and everything. And I was worried about, you know, number one, my mom dying. Number two, being homeless.
At this point, I pretty much had no money. You know, my mom didn't have a job, I didn't have a job.
This was the time where I was pretty much, ironically, at the peak of my degeneracy. I was probably one of the highest rated warriors in WoW. At the time, it was great, but not necessarily in real life.
I went to the dentist and they did like a complete, I don't know, like a diagnosis or an exam on my mouth. And they said it would be $50,000 to get all my teeth and everything fixed.
If you look at my
50K? Shit.
My old videos, a lot of my old videos, you'd notice that when I smile, I cover my mouth when I smile.
And if I didn't do that, I would lose my teeth, and that'd be pretty much it.
Throughout the next 7 years, I was not able to afford dental care, and I was not able to afford really any sort of medical care whatsoever.
I would have these toothaches that would get so bad that I would pass out from the pain.
And a lot of my teeth fell out.
During this period, Zach tried a few jobs, but none lasted very long.
Worked at the IRS for a while, tried to work at Sam's Club, didn't really go very well.
Zach, that's me, by the way.
I thought that I would just have a shitty job, play video games for my whole life, and then die.
I was not motivated to go to school or to get a job, and let me fucking tell you something. After working at Sam's Club for one goddamn day, I put in more applications that night than I had put in the last fucking 3 years of my life.
The shitty job is actually a lot more shitty than I thought it would be.
The first day I come home, and the first thing that I do is I look up enrollment for like the colleges. And before that, I worked for the IRS.
Oh, I used to work at the government.
So we would have to process documents, right, for like, you know, tax purposes and everything. Before I started streaming, I was in business school. I already had one business degree, and I was getting another one to transfer over to
UT Law, or maybe Baylor, depending on which one I would get accepted to.
And then I told my dad. My dad was very happy about this, right?
Then I decided to play World of Warcraft instead.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmondgold, and today I've kind of got a little bit of an announcement to make, is that I'm going to start streaming.
I'm like, Dad, you know, like the whole law school thing? He goes, yeah, did you apply? I'm like, no, I'm going to make videos about World of Warcraft.
And so I started streaming just, you know, kind of whenever I was bored.
I fucking left the adapter downstairs. Oh, wait, no, it fits. It fits.
And I remember it was like my dad went on a vacation, and like I would like usually have dinner with my dad, and then I basically had no responsibilities. I had nothing that I had to do. And so a lot of days whenever I would normally go over to his house, I would just instead go and stream it.
Listen, dude, the Asmongold struggle right at the very fucking beginning of streaming, that was a grind. That was a fucking grind.
I started being very, very seriously on a very regular basis.
I pretty much like stopped interacting with a lot of friends of mine because I focused pretty much just on streaming and on making this as much as possible.
Then I started doing that regularly, and it started doing really well.
I streamed every single night. I was very dedicated. I tried to make things as entertaining as possible.
Like, there's a lot of people who it takes them a long time for them to get popular, and I kind of did that work on YouTube.
Whenever I was doing YouTube, that was whenever I really had to grind. Because I did YouTube a lot harder before streaming.
Whenever I went onto Twitch, people kind of knew who I was because I had a couple of like semi-viral videos in like the WoW community at that time. And then I started like getting a lot more popular on Twitch, and things kind of just snowballed from there.
Asmondgold is now one of the most watched streamers, and over time, his content has expanded to political and social commentary.
That is the largest political commentator in North America right now.
Broadening his audience while occasionally drawing him into controversies.
I'm on MSNBC.
Video game streamers, Asmondgold, who said he's out there acting like he's guilty.
My mom, I lived with her, and for the past 10 years, I've taken care of her. I've been, in a way, a caretaker for her. She was 70 years old. She was overweight. She smoked, and she basically lived her life like a college freshman.
Alright, this is my mom. She's been playing for a long time. She's on Warcraft.
So I spent so much time with her and with only her.
How do you think about this?
I'm happy.
Smoking for 50 years gives you something called COPD. Yeah, it's kind of like she's playing on a Nintendo 64. Do you think you're going to go for server first, level 85?
I think not.
Really? And over the years, it's just gotten worse. That's the way the disease works. What's holding you back?
My lack of skill.
At least she's honest.
Asmondgold stands as a polarizing figure because he embodies a rare online authenticity. His words aren't crafted for approval, but spoken exactly as he sees them. It is this unfiltered honesty that allows people to see themselves in him, making his character deeply relatable despite the controversies around him.
Didn't fucking do what I thought it was gonna do. I need 3 fingers. Pause. Or ooh. I like that. Okay, yes, sir. We got strength in this bitch. Okay, it's a little bit off center. Ah. Let's see. XXX was different. I think I've seen that video, so I have to. Yeah, I've seen it. So let's see what else we got on this. Performing Male, I've seen that, 2020. Ooh, the Sunken Place, saw it coming. Ooh.
This video is sponsored by Epidemic Sound.
The Sunken Place, to me, is the suppression of voices.
It feels like the country as a whole has been living in the sunken place.
I got rights to talk, bro. I know right here. I do.
I think all great horror has a social message of some sort.
Do they know I'm black?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen this. This is a great video. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is a great video because I love Jordan Peele, but we've seen it all. Okay, let's see, chat. Hold on a second. We're gonna remember you must die. Oh, 6 minutes. Quick little shum. Sneako is unbanned, chat. That's crazy.
The last time I saw my aunt, I was driving and waiting at this intersection. This is known for having the longest red light in Miami. And I see my aunt crossing the street. Park my car in the middle of the intersection, get out, give her a big hug. She lives in Haiti, so I didn't expect to see her. She's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I'm like, okay, let's go get dinner tonight. Go play soccer where I was driving. A couple hours later, take a shower, and then we go to dinner. I'd never had one-on-one dinner with my aunt before, which was rare. And that was the last time I ever saw her. I love that interaction because when we were walking to dinner, a couple of people were stopping and asking for pictures, and I said, "No, I'm with my aunt right now." And she told that to the rest of my family. And when she passed, they would come up to me and tell me, like, she loved that. She said, "No, I'm with my aunt right now." And the way that they would repeat the story, I could hear her translation of her voice. Like, it was kind of, "No, I can't take a photo. I'm with my aunt right now." Like, that's not how I talk, that's how she talks, but that's how she remembered it. I like that story because it's a good reminder to always have good interactions with everybody you meet, especially the ones that you love, because you never know when the last time's going to be. I'm happy because that was a very memorable one, and it could not have left on a more positive note. Same thing with Ben Bader. Last time we saw each other, we're hanging out. We weren't streaming. Nobody took any photos, videos. Just going to a concert together. Fun memories. Hopefully, when I pass away, people have fond memories of me too.
Damn.
It was literally for this exact reason I keep a suit just in case I needed a black suit in Miami. Keep a suit on you. You never know when you have to go to a funeral or a wedding, or you just need to be drippy. Be ready.
He's a traitor to you and me. Don't lay down our life all by itself. No. Preserve your life. It's the best thing you got.
Deliver us serenity. Deliver us peace. Deliver us love. Yeah.
Can't forget the clock. Jamal. Don't forget the 9.
Oh my God.
True. Based.
Excuse me. Up here?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this right now, you forget that we're still on the east coast of America. I feel like I'm like on a retreat on an island or something. Cactus hanging from the tree.
But if someone puts his hand on you, send him to the cemetery. An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, and a head for a head, and a life for a life.
To be human is to inspire. And I think the most powerful thing we can emit as humans is authenticity. And when you talk about embodying those two components, and so as we continue to question life, you know, I think he left us with a really beautiful playbook. Love you, man.
I love the new YouTube run, by the way, for real. You got that original shit. Appreciate it, man. Drive safe.
Yeah, bro, the original shit. Where's that?
Rest in peace to Ben Bader. Life is short. Cool to see the impact that you could have on people, not even just personally, but through the internet. Gone too soon. Having people at his coffee shop show up. There's a lady from the restaurant I always go to at Olio de Agua. They're like, hi Nick. Hello, Nick. I always give her a hug when I come back to Miami and eat there. It's my go-to spot. I saw her here speaking. I was looking at her speaking. She had the sunglasses on because she was crying. I'm like, I know this lady. Where do I know her from? It's like, oh yeah, she works at that coffee shop. You know, and then Ben gave her his phone number, you know. That's the impact that you could have through pure energy.
Back at it. See a little alpha change.
Oh yeah.
Shit, bro.
dog? Bro, nice to meet you, dog.
That handshake. I know, it was bad. Someone put a little ooh sound effect over there. The Indian guy was leading the speeches at Ben's celebration of life. I kind of like that term, celebration of life instead of funeral.
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Boo-boo.
Are you famous?
I didn't like it at first because, bro, you're gonna cry about somebody dying anyways, bro. Like, until this year when one of the comedians in Dallas passed away from getting run over, bro. Like, it made me realize, bro, sometimes you just have to, you know, enjoy that person's presence in your life, and you guys can all be like, you know, in that moment, just cheering on this person. Because, bro, everybody's going to be depressed when they leave. I hate faking sadness because I might be sad when I'm alone thinking about that person not being in my life. But when you do it on demand because it's a funeral and you have to, that's just, I feel like that's like sometimes not real, you know?
My little brother.
Where are you guys from?
Missouri. Syria.
What are you guys celebrating?
Just here for fun.
Oh, okay. You dress like you're going somewhere special.
We're going to Sexy Fish.
Oh, okay, have fun.
Thank you.
It's really loud though, so you have to talk loud.
Thank you.
La boo boo, la BB.
Yeah.
Hey, chill, Sneako. You gotta let that aura build. Chill. You gotta beat that nonchalant dreadhead. Chill.
This many birds before? Holy shit. Fuck, man, that's not a construction. Oh, there's another spot. Jump it?
Yeah, take the camera.
She had an apartment right here.
No,
actually visiting here when I was younger, when I was 14.
Damn, bro, that's deep. He's sad right now.
With my family's spot was a big inspiration to start achieving something greater than what I'd seen in a small town. You know, like, look how magnificent this was. This is what's possible.
I would rather be naive and wrong than skeptical and bitter. If it doesn't work out, what's the worst thing that happens? If you pick the wrong model, at least you're fucking moving. At least you're trying, you're off the sidelines, you're in the game, you're in the arena. I'd rather be
Facts. That's why I stream to 2 viewers at a night.
in the arena than sit on the sidelines for my entire life. I'm your normal college kid. I just tried something, I figured it out, I committed for 4 years, and now I have my dream life. I have everything that I always wanted, and I am the person that I used to watch on YouTube. Like, I am that exact version of people who I would look at and think, maybe that's not legit, maybe that's all fake. I've become it, and it is real, and it is possible for you, for anybody who's watching this. You just have to actually commit.
Damn, bro, that's kind of sad. An artist's dream. Sad as fuck, bro. When a person does pass away, it is sad as fuck because you don't know what their potential could have been, man. But that celebration of life shit, I have appreciated it a little bit more. I kind of see the point of it. Originally, I never really liked it much. But it is a point in life where people not mutually want to cry together, you know? They want to be able to celebrate this person and the way they impacted their life. So I appreciate the celebration of life, but funeral just sounds so depressing, you know? Like I was saying, we had a comedian this year that I can't say I was his bestie, but you know, he was genuinely in a lot of our lives as a good force. Hey, what's good, Musher? Yes, I do have big lights. You know, we're professional over here. I got them on Amazon years ago, bro. When I first started streaming, I got these shits years ago, bro. They're huge. I know. I gotta find the bulbs. I don't know where I need 8 bulbs. I'm missing 8 bulbs. But this shit was dark as fuck. I don't know if it's the sunglasses. I think it's just dark as hell in here. Especially for the camera, it's dark as hell in here. So I gotta fix this somehow, some way. But I put up my TV. So like, you know, now, yeah, we got a TV. Now I just got to put lights around it. So look, if I put red lights and they on, you know what timing we on. We on demon time. If the red lights on, these hoes folding. Yo ho going. So when I put on the red lights, hey, demon time. Demon time. It's time for the crush. The crush. Look, anybody that says their hoe not going, she going. Look, bro. Nowadays, you know, we got to keep it P with each other. If you found out your bitch was going, but she didn't actually go, but you knew, like, you know how everybody's doing the whole, you know, the good old YouTube videos where it's, seeing to catch a cheater, right? It's like, I think if you found out your bitch might be going, you have to fucking buckle up and blow her shit back, you know? I don't think people really understand how crucial it is that you find out if your bitch going or not within the first year of y'all's relationship. Because if you do not do that, it might turn into 2 years of you know, manipulation, and you falling in love. So now you like, fuck it, bro. I might have to just put up with this. Get a good drink for this one. We're going to drink straight warm shit tonight. Because look, bro, I'm getting real philosophical right now, chat. Look, I feel like there are times where you have to test yo shawty. You have to see if she going. If you not putting her to the test, do we really know she knows ball? Because, bro, everybody want to say their girl a virgin. Look at Akash Singh right now, bro. He's the brown comedian that's getting humiliated by his wife online. She doing him worse than Steph Curry getting done by Aisha. She going on podcasts talking about how she was getting run through in fucking frat houses. I'm like, bruh, what are you talking about? He was on Flagrant talking about how they were just each other's first. I'm like, yo bitch going. Yo ho going. Like nowadays, bro, I used to be like super, you know, black pill. I'm like, bro, I'm pessimistic as fuck. I'm just gonna stick to like, you know, what I know, which is just toxic behavior. You have to be toxic before you can really be a lover boy. Lover boy shit is really for when you're like 30 plus, you know? Because I really think, bro, if you don't do that, you're gonna get hurt. Everybody knows nice guys finish last. I fucking had to cut off a homie because he couldn't get no hoes, and I couldn't trust him because if you not getting hoes, I can't trust you. I'm sorry. I gotta make sure you can pull hoes, because if you scaring the hoes, you fucking up my night. I see there's sometimes you realize that your best homie might be scaring the hoes, and you have to be honest with yourself that what do you really value? Is that dumbass friendship or some pussy in your life? Everybody makes a decision, and bro, it might not just be the fact that he's scaring the hoes. He might just be rubbing off and leeching your energy too. I'm just saying, we gotta be our best selves in 2026. So if you cutting off the bad friends, hit the fucking like button, hit the fucking subscribe button. Because we're staying toxic, Kings. 2026, stay fucking toxic. I'm back at Quinlan's Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. Hit the fucking notifications for any time you know I'm on. You know yo ho going. Because look, chat, I'm going to be back hopefully on the regular schedule in the next couple of weeks. I'm getting through these fucking midterms. They're pissing me the fuck off. I don't know why the fuck they want to line these hoes up 2-3 weeks in a row. But look, chat, at the end of the day, we're getting a warm one. This whole week, it's been catching up. It's been on a different level. I'm kind of warming up right now. I'm getting the audio popping. I'm going to get the fucking lights popping. Then we get the studio going, okay? This is when we crush. Solidify the crush. I've been watching a lot of Dre and Prime, bro. Like sometimes I'll be watching some of those videos and I absorb those personalities because I need to lock in how they fucking solidify the crush. I'm trying to pick that up, bro. I feel like that type of ball knowledge is impeccable. Bro, them motherfuckers ISO, bro, crazy, bro. I'm trying to get on that, bro. That's Marine level pussy getting, bro. Them bitches getting tactical with it, bro. It's crazy. Crazy. But hey, cheers. We got a TV up and some lights. I'm gonna figure them out tomorrow. Or whenever I fucking wake up. Because I do have a midterm tomorrow. And I'm not very happy about it because I didn't really study. If I call in a bomb threat, you think they might cancel the test? Until next time, y'all have a good night. Peace.